Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
You got pros and you got college. We can't depend on this group effort project. You need somebody super smart to get this job done for the project. Look at the Thunder side. You got one big dog. Another thing about the Pacers, why I call them a college team, they don't have a real superstar in the building. All the George Masons, all the VCU, all the Florida Gulf Coast teams. The Cinderella story is over with. This is not the NCAA tournament, man. This is crazy.
You know, sometimes as you're talking,
hey, look, they ain't want to tell us what's going on today. And while you messing up, first of all, you got a lot of tournament teams over here. You need some Cinderella teams. You know what I mean? The VCU, the Davises. I don't see none of them.
San Jose State.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
State.
There's just something I love about college sports.
Yeah.
There's something
I love about.
Let me say this.
Go ahead, James.
Like, I be listening to you, but sometimes I don't listen to you. That was funny, though. That man said, it's like a group project, and sometimes you need a star to get this.
Where are you? Oh, he's showing over. What's that going on? He acting up. It gotta be Friday.
He got a whole mess.
He ain't got no white beater on. He got no shirt in the jersey. He got a basketball game today.
Oh, miss, man. Oh, I didn't even see the
Just making sure our college teams are highly represented today. The Pacers won as a college team. Don't worry, it's fine. And now this college team, just making sure our college teams are highly represented.
You have an undershirt on the jersey?
No, I wasn't.
You ready to play?
I'm ready to play today. James Jones, how you feeling?
I feel good, man. I feel good. How you feeling, Shady?
Well, my name's LaShawn McCoy. How y'all doing? I got a question, though.
Yes, sir.
I might have missed something, right?
Yes, sir.
Did somebody win a championship yesterday? I don't know. They won a game.
Not yet.
Okay, because it looks like
It does look
we're celebrating a championship.
We're celebrating the college.
We both agree. I said that, the college teams, they play well. The Davises, they play solid. Florida Gulf Coast, they play cool.
Iowa State.
VCU, they play some good moments.
This is better than playing cool, LaShawn.
Okay.
We have a 7-game series out of a 50-win, 4-seeded Pacers team trying to take out the big dogs. Look real little in the Thunder. I think, Shady, James, I believe apology. It might be necessary.
Apology.
Shady, are you ready to apologize?
For what? Did somebody win a championship? You know what I'll say, though? I seen a great college game playing yesterday. The whole starting five to the fourth, sixth person on the bench, they played well.
I'm glad he mentioned starting five.
Well.
Shall we?
Well.
I'm glad he mentioned starting five, because who am I to not introduce the starting five? And now, out of Iowa State, Tyrese Halliburton. And now, standing at 6'8", out of New Mexico State, Pascal Siakam. Standing at 6'6", a forward out of Vanderbilt. Y'all get the point. This college team is more than just a college team. Look at them. This college team has pushed it to 7 games. LaShawn.
Real quick, though.
Shady.
Where'd McConnell go?
McCoy. Where'd McConnell go?
Where did he start at?
He went to Arizona. He went to Arizona.
Okay.
He went to Arizona.
He finished at Arizona.
Went to Arizona.
Know your
Kill the
homework on
music.
these guys.
Kill the music. Kill the music. They push it to 7. They push it to 7. With all due respect, the fun. We got a 7-game series. We haven't had one.
Who was
Do
he?
not break the trinkets.
Who's he?
Do not. That's a
Who's he?
Cornhusker.
Oh, I don't.
I know he ain't know.
That's the corn. What do you mean that's the Cornhusker?
I know these two.
I know these two. Right. And these two are not the Pacers.
They put you to 7. We haven't had a 7-game series since 2016. Cavs, LeBron James, 7-game series are what sports is all about. Game 7, there are no two better words combined in sports. Shady, how shocked are you? How shocked are you by the blowout win Pacers last night?
I was shocked on the win, and I was even more shocked about the blowout. I didn't expect it to go like that. You know, you can tell, everybody talks about how a Game 7 and closeout games are one of the hardest things to do. It's not even a Game 7, it's a closeout game. It's the hardest thing to do in basketball. And it showed. You can see that in the experience from OKC. Like they was pressing, right? When's the last time we see OKC where J-Dub and SGA can't really get their thing off? They can't really get their shots off. They press different shots. They couldn't really score. And then check. I don't know if he even played or not. I don't know if he put his jersey on. He didn't really show up at all. So, but you can see that, though, right? I think Game 7 would be a lot different. They'd be a lot more comfortable. It's one game for the big dance. Ooh. And then on the Pacers side, I'm going to give them some credit. Yeah. Because it's not like a going against the Pacers. You know what I mean? It's more of just what I see in them men being honest. I think the Pacers, they played well. They played well as a whole team. Yeah. They did a great coaching job. Rick Carlisle did a great job of, we're not going to press SGA full court the whole game. We're not going to do that. When him and Jay Will get into the paint, then we're going to collapse. Yeah. And we're going to double team him. And that worked out well for him. Yeah. TJ McConnell, he played well again. The whole team played well, right? But the pushback I have for you, though, with the whole college environment we're in, right? 150,000 in the studio, yelling and screaming, is that to win the finals, you telling me that SGA is not going to score well, J-Dub's not going to score well, Check ain't going to check into the game, and then the best part is, you need the whole roster for the Pacers to play well like that again. The whole college format of the starters to the 9th guy on the bench, 10th guy on the bench to play well. That's got to happen again. I'm going to put my money with the superstar team, with the MVP. I'm going to do that.
I'm going to address that part later because that's a phenomenal question. Can the Pacers win Game 7? For right now, James, I'm not going to say I was shocked that the Pacers won that game because to be shocked is to not understand the DNA of the Pacers. The Pacers have 5 wins this playoffs alone when trailing by 15 or more points late in a game. That's the most in the history of basketball when you consider the modern playoff era. The Pacers came back from down 20 against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pacers came back from down 15, came back from down 20 against the Cleveland Cavs, and then against the New York Knicks in Game 1 alone, y'all remember it, Naismith at the end of the game, they came back from down 17. Even this series against the Thunder, they came back from down 15 in Game 1. The Pacers at a micro level, they're the comeback kids. So, of course, at a macro level, they were going to be the comeback kids. Y'all thought the Pacers were going to lose 3 games in a row, with 2 of them 3 being in Indiana? Ain't no way. So if you truly understand both the DNA of this Pacers team, and then if you remember Rick Carlisle, the coach for the Pacers, and what he did in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks, the city I grew up in, I went to those finals, what he did in 2011 with the Mavericks when the Mavericks were going up against the formidable Miami Heat team with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, a team that nobody thought could be beat, and Rick Carlisle coached Dirk Nowitzki at 37-year-old Jason Kidd, and then Jason Terry to triumph over that team. I know the DNA of this Pacers team. I know the mind of that head coach. I've seen them do it before. I'm not at all surprised nor shocked that the Pacers won, though I am shocked that they blew them out. Yeah. I can't lie about that. Not surprised that they won.
That's where I'm at. I'm not shocked that they won, but I am shocked about the blowout. Like, this is a closeout game. That's embarrassing by OKC. It wasn't no energy. It wasn't no effort. The last game we watched, we seen Caruso and them fellas diving on the ground in OKC and all that, trying to get that W done. This game, the energy, the effort, I don't know what the message was from the coach. I don't know if the message was, hey, man, go out here, have fun. We got another opportunity if we don't get it done, because that's what it looked like. They played like they had another game, and the Pacers played like they didn't. And if that happens, this is the outcome. And that is why they got blown out. But this right here, this was embarrassing. I didn't even see the energy and the effort from Shea. I didn't see the energy and the effort from J-Dub. I obviously didn't see the energy and effort from Chet. Like, this was just embarrassing. And I blame the coach because when you're in a closeout game like this, you got to get them boys ready to play. And you're on the road trying to close the team out. And the main reason why I don't like it is because you never know what can happen, man. You know, we always say you're a shoelace away from scratching your head in trouble and wasting an opportunity to win a championship. And you had an opportunity to close them out, and you got blown out like that. And the way y'all played, that ain't the way y'all... I mean, they ain't played like that all year, man. That was bad.
I just feel bad because we wasting decorations. Because it's over. We come back next week. It's going to be over.
You have been saying that it is over for 2.5 weeks now since this series started. We are now in Game 7. You said it was over after Game 2. You said it was over. But, James, you pivoted. After Game 3, you were like, you know what? Pacers have made it a series. I said if the Pacers won Game 3, it's going to 7. Shane, you've been saying it's over. Did last night not change your opinion?
No. So when I say it's over, that means that OKC will win the championship. Maybe it's longer than I expected. Maybe OKC, you know what?
Definitely longer than I expected.
They got families. You know, let's celebrate on our home court. Right? We're in the end. We on the road. Let's win this thing at home. That's what they're going to do. We're going to see, though, because the energy I seen last night, I haven't seen them play like that. Even when they lost, there was no type of energy in the building for them. Right? It's like, let's get this thing over with. You see teams that want to get this thing over with, and you see teams that don't. And last night, they didn't want to get over with.
Let me ask you this, because I'm curious, my opinion, when I was watching that game, well, my first thought went, I wonder if this game has changed Shady's opinion. Reason I say this is, we saw the Thunder beat the brakes off the Grizzlies, slapped them. We saw the Thunder, they battled with the Denver Nuggets, but we know the Denver Nuggets have championship pedigree, and the Denver Nuggets have an MVP at the throne in Nikola Jokic. We saw the Thunder last series beat the brakes off of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Pacers have played the Thunder better than any other team has played the Thunder.
Yes, they have.
So with that being said, 2-5, knowing that the Nuggets aren't a laughingstock, knowing that the Timberwolves, they're not a laughingstock, given the fact that the Pacers have played this Thunder team better than anybody up until this point has played the best team in the NBA, has your opinion at least changed of the Pacers? Now that college team or not, it's a 7-game series, big dog.
Well, what if I told you, though? So now that's one thing I have changed. I said that the Pacers are a better team than we thought. Everybody coming to this series since Game 1 thought, okay, they're going to smoke the Pacers. Better team, right? You got SGA, you got all these great teams, all these great players. They had a great season last year, they had a great season this year. But then when we get to it, you see the Pacers, they beat a banged-up Cavs, like it or not. They beat a not good Bucks team, but they did beat the Knicks, right? And then they came in this series, and everybody thought it was going to be a blowout. And it wasn't. You know why? Because the Pacers are better than what people think. The Pacers are better than I thought they were. And I give them credit for that. I think they're a really, really good team. I truly believe that. But they're not better than OKC.
But they've been better 3 times in 6 games. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
however you want to cut it, because you want to cut it your way, and I get it. I'm
cutting it by the truth.
It's 3-3 right now, right?
3-3.
All right, so however, I don't know, but I know this. When we look at this game, what is it, Monday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Even better. It's God's day. When we get Sunday, majority of the people is going to be, now I don't know who they're cheering for. I know they think it's going to win. If we did it, you like to do polls. If you do a poll, who's going to win?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you say on that how it looked and when it looked and this, that, and third. It is hard for me to believe that, and they played well, so there's credit to the Pacers. But the style that they win, I haven't seen it never done in the NBA ever. I've never seen a college type of team where nobody's scoring over 20 points. Everybody, you gonna get your 14? Yo, you need your 12? I need my little 9, I need my 13. And that's how we gonna win the NBA Finals. If that happens, the way that coaches, GMs, presidents, owners, they're gonna coach their team different. They're gonna recruit different. They're gonna scout different. They're gonna draft different. Now, we might not need to get all these max contracts.
And I
don't see that happen, Acho.
Because this is probably the worst thing that could have happened to OKC. It is. Because, number one, I don't know how hurt Halliburton is, but...
He looked hurt to you last night?
I don't know how hurt Halliburton is, but every time he come off the bench, they got him wrapped up, they got him heated and all that type of stuff. So I don't know. But he was able to sit his butt down because it was a blowout. So now that's extra rest from you. Not only that, it's a blowout, and our game plan worked. We didn't pick you up full court. We trapped you when you came past half court. It worked. The confidence that the Pacers have going into Game 7 is not what OKC wanted to do. OKC came out 91 points scored. That's the fewest points scored all year for OKC in the regular season and the postseason. 21 turnovers. That's the most turnovers by OKC in the regular season and the postseason. 17-point loss. That's the most in the regular season and the postseason by the OKC Thunder. So you mean to tell me getting on that plane to go to OKC that these Indiana Pacers don't got confidence that they could get this done? This is going to be a really good basketball game, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous.
I think you have to be. I'm wondering this, though, like, at what point do we say maybe the Pacers are better?
Then,
James, than the Thunder. You were.
Find out this game.
I don't say this to pour salt in the wound because you won a Super Bowl. I didn't win nothing. But at the point in which you were 15-1, playing the New York Giants, a team you were definitely better than, especially by record, on paper, all the things. Y'all had just won the Super Bowl the year prior, which means you had probably won 19 of your last 20 games. Y'all are better than the Giants. The Giants are limping by record into the playoffs, not limping in reality. At what point into that game were you like, maybe we're just not better? Because at this point, the Thunder are better by record. The Thunder are better by roster. But now we've had 6 games, and it's 3-3. Shady keeps saying the Thunder are better. The Thunder are better. Vegas keeps saying the Thunder are better. So it's not like I'm indicting Shady here. At what point do we have to take a step back and be like, you know what? Maybe the Pacers are better.
Well, that's tough because the Giants ain't better than us, but they was better than us on that day. You know what I'm saying? Football is tough because it's one game. Now, if the Giants beat us 4 times, bro, they just a better basketball team than us. They had a better series than us.
If they beat you 3 times in 6 games, what's that mean?
If we 3-3, that means we even right now. And if they win this game, we obviously know who was the better team. That's what it was. But to be honest with you, at halftime of the Giants game when we played them, I said they playing way better than us right now. That's it. But I didn't think they was a better team. This is different, man. You got a 7-game series to where you able to have all these adjustments and do different things, and we won 4 of them. We better than you, man.
Hey, Archer, why
Last thought. Yes, sir.
Why you always put Halliburton down there when they got the stars down there? So you got SGA, 21 points, 8 turnovers. Then you got Halliburton, 14 points. Why you always do that?
He's the other star on the Pacers. He's the other.
I don't know.
Coleman, can I hear my theme music, please? My theme music. No, not that music. No, not that. Kill that one. Kill that music.
My ears, I can't even hear it.
What?
This is crazy. Hey, I want the same smile on Monday. Same smile.
Hey, when we return, Rachel Nichols, one of the brightest minds in all of the sports for the last 3 decades, she was actually in Indiana at the big game. She was there live and in action. She will be joining the facility for an exclusive conversation one-on-one with her. Do not miss that. She will provide details that you missed on social media. Don't forget to check us out every day. Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM. Pacers were in a must-win situation last night. Y'all watched the game. They got it done. Miraculous fashion, and they stayed alive. They somehow stayed alive. And now we have the luxury of having the 2 best words in all of sports. Game 7. Cannot wait to see that one. But right now, I can't wait to be joined by one of the most brilliant minds in all of sports. I would suggest the media savant, one of the most experts of all experts in covering the game of basketball. And she was at the game last night. So an exclusive conversation right now. Rachel Nichols, how are you?
My hearing is a little bit shaky still from last night. I'm still hearing echoing. I'm hearing voices, but I think all of that will calm down until I get to game 7, and it's going to be the same way in that building.
Oh.
It was so loud last night. Rick Carlisle came to the podium after and said, he's coaching that building for a long time. He has never heard it that loud. I have been to 23 NBA finals, and there's one of the loudest buildings I have ever been in. It was nuts.
Do this. We all watched the game, but you were there live and in action. What was the moment that you knew, oh, this game is different? Was there someone you saw in the stands? Was it an interaction on the bench? Was it the stadium shaking? What was the one moment where you said, this is different?
Well, it was in the first stretch at the very beginning of the game. The Pacers missed their first 8 shots. And a lot of times when that happens in a big game like this, the building just deflates. You can feel it, right? Fans get super nervous. That translates to the players and the bench. Instead, what happened was with every single missed shot, the crowd got louder. They were like the dad at the side of the Little League game who was like, you can do it, son. You can do it. Come on, just get in there. I mean, that's what it felt like. This crowd was not going to let this team's bubble burst. And the players, they responded to that. And you saw them pick up. And then through the end of the first quarter and a knockout second quarter, these guys just looked like they were playing, the game the way it's meant to be played. It was beautiful.
I don't want to misquote you, but the most fascinating thing that happened during the game, in my mind, happened before the game. Usually, and I know this because oftentimes I might wager on these games, you do not find out the starting lineup until 30 minutes or so before tip.
Exactly.
In large part, it's a chess match. A coach does not want to reveal who's starting, particularly when it's Tyrese Halliburton, the star of the Indiana Pacers. You gain a supreme advantage by not revealing that he is starting until moments before tip. However, you tweeted out that Carlisle revealed this much sooner. Break that down for me.
Yeah, the coaches always have a pregame press conference. It's nearly 2 hours before the game. They often will tell us stone-faced when we sit there and say, hey, who's starting tonight? Guess we'll have to see. Don't know yet. I mean, Eric Spoelstra will tell you before every Miami Heat game. Apparently, he has no idea who is starting until 30 minutes before. I mean, it's amazing. He's such a good coach. So this was very unusual that Rick just came out. No one even asked him a question. The guy running the press conference said, okay, now, and he started to call on someone in the first row, and Rick interrupted him. And he said, I'm first. I've got something. And he just laid it all out for us that Tyrese was starting, that he had this strength test at 5 p.m., 3 hours before the game, that he passed that with flying colors, and that they expected him to lead the team. And, it was so shocking, especially from an old school coach like Rick. Somebody in the press room said, Rick, why? I mean, we appreciate the transparency, but why are you telling us this? And he goes, look, this is the time of year we're at. This is the time of the series we're at. It's time for hard truths, and let's just get going. And that's the truth. It was very hard scrabble.
All right, there was a moment that went viral on social media. Rick Carlisle coming out to 50 Cent's Many Men. For those that don't know some of the lyrics, many men wish death upon me, blood in my eye, and I can't see, essentially suggesting that the Thunder trying to wish death upon him, and Rick Carlisle chose to come out to that song. Can you clarify, both in the stadium, did he actually come out to that song, and what did the atmosphere feel like?
I would love this to be true, because there is something kind of perfect if you know Rick and his demeanor. For as much as he looks one way, and let's face it, he looks like an old white dude, he's got a lot of dog in him. The way he played himself and the way that his demeanor is with his players. So I would love this to be true. It's actually, he's the last name announced. And then they start doing, that stage of warm-ups. And that is what the team plays as it finishes the introductions, starts going into warm-ups. Last night was not the first time they play it. They played it throughout the season. So it wasn't quite what it looked like on TV, but, this is why it was so great that we finally got starting lineups back in the NBA Finals. Because traditions like that, which, of course, most famously, the Michael Jordan Bulls, where we're like, we all know we can hear the theme song in our heads as I say this. Now that is what you're going to hear at the beginning of Pacers games and give a whole new character to this team.
I love that. Okay, let's talk a little bit of the nuances of being there in person. Oftentimes when I watch a game in person, I can garner information by looking into somebody's eyes, by seeing what they say, and even more importantly, seeing what they don't say. Did the Thunder appear too timid for that moment? No shame if they did. It was the first time on such a stage in a closeout game. Was there a different look in the eyes of the Thunder? I believe you were at game one. Did that look different than this game? Did the Thunder appear that the moment was bigger than them?
It's funny. They didn't look sort of deer in headlights overwhelmed, which in the end, I think the evaluation of the Thunder, people will come out of this going, well, they're a young team and they didn't close it out when they had the chance to, but they'll be different in game 7. All of that's true, but it wasn't to me that they were wide-eyed. They almost looked dead inside. And I don't know if that was the force of the building and the fans. I don't know if that was the force of just sort of the way the Pacers were playing. And the ball was zipping around so much in the building. That was one of the things that really struck you, too, as you were courtside. When you look at the final stats, the Pacers passed the ball 107 more times than the Thunder in that game. That ball movement, that energy, it just sort of left on the other side, the Thunder looking as if someone had pushed them down into a puddle and they just weren't getting up. So it wasn't that sloppy, wide-eyed, oh my God, Butterfingers kind of thing. It was more of just that the Pacers snatched their soul last night, and they're going to try to get it back when they host themselves in a few days.
The last time a team trailed 3-2 in the NBA Finals, won Game 6 to go on to Game 7, I believe was 2016, the Miami Heat. I believe you were there covering that live and in action. You
mean the Cavaliers?
The Cavaliers, yes. Yeah. I'm mistaken, Miami Heat, because LeBron James did it in 2013 as well.
Exactly.
I believe that was the Ray Allen step-back shot against the San Antonio Spurs.
Exactly.
Did this game feel at all like that 2016 Cavs game? Did this feel like that 2013 Heat game? Was there similar feeling, or was it totally different?
Well, there was a lot going on at that point in the Cavs-Warriors series because of the Draymond suspension. So there's a little bit of a different sort of feel going on. But you have to remember that Cavaliers team was a veteran team. Kyrie was young, but he had been through it already quite a bit. And LeBron James was coming off, as you point out, his Heat residency, where he had been through the wars with all of those 4 finals, winning 2 titles, that sort of thing. So that was a team that you knew sort of had the wherewithal to steal their way through a Game 6 and eventually a Game 7. This Pacers team, there were question marks. There were question marks after they played a Game 5 where, frankly, they were the ones whose soul was snatched. They looked listless, and they came out with just as much steel and said, we are also a veteran team. Pascal Siakam, who had another exceptional game, he has a ring on his finger already, and he just showed why this is a team that should not be underestimated.
Lastly, as we look ahead towards Game 7, because now it's time to spin it forward. It's the 2 best and biggest words in sports. After watching that blowout win last night, who do you think has the edge psychologically and physically going into Game 7?
Well, those are 2 different things to me. I look, there's all the things we say about teams at home in Game 7. You can look up all those numbers, all the role players playing better at home. That has been true throughout this series. So over and over again, we've seen that. So that, again, would indicate toward the Thunder. There's also the who has the best player, right? The team with the best player tends to win a Game 7, and that is still the MVP of the league, SGA. All of that said, the mental edge to me right now is with the Pacers, because it's not just that they won this game. They smothered Oklahoma City in this game. And Oklahoma City is going to go home with all of the pressure. The Pacers really feel, you talk to them, talk to TJ McConnell after the game, this is found money in a lot of ways. Of no one expected this of this. We're the only ones who knew we could do this. The Thunder, they're the ones now carrying the burden of if they, quote, choke away this series or lose this game after they came in as such overwhelming favorites. That is a burden, and this is a young team, and we will have to see how they respond.
Let me do some math real quick before I ask you this question. Okay, we've watched 288 minutes of basketball between these 2 teams over the last 2 weeks. It's tied 3-3. Who's the better team?
I mean, that's the glory of the sporting court, right, gentlemen? I mean, Herm Edwards said that's why you play, right? To see who wins the games. Like you have to play it out. We don't know yet. That's why they have a Game 7 here, and they've 3 times the Pacers have been the better team, and 3 times the Thunder have been the better team.
Let me ask you this, then.
And it's just not what we thought.
I debate with Shady on this all the time, and I'll ask you this, and then I'll let you go. Do you think the better team, for example, you could argue the better team didn't win Game 1 because the Thunder were dominating the entirety of that game. Pacers come back, Halliburton hits the shot. You could suggest, the better team didn't win that game. Are the Pacers, it's tied 3-3, so clearly on paper the 2 teams are equal. But have you now been convinced? Because Vegas is still not convinced. Currently the Thunder are 8.5-point favorites to win Game 7. Are you now convinced, no, these 2 teams are legitimately equal? Oh,
I absolutely think that that's true. I think that we, you have to keep underestimating the Pacers at your own peril here. I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous to look at them and just keep saying, but this is fluke, but this is that, but this is that. It matters who wins, right? It matters who wins. So they only led for 0.3 seconds of Game 1. Guess what? They won it. So I just think that you can't pick at them and say, well, they were the better team here, they were the better team there. They are clearly equivalent to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we have the numbers to prove it.
Amazing. Rachel, you'll be joining us again momentarily. Thank you for being at the game. Thanks for the exclusive insight, and we'll see you here in a matter of moments. Hey, when we return, the latest on Shedeur Sanders. He has been issued 2 speeding tickets this month. 2. We were found out about another one yesterday, going 101 in a 60, and then was caught going 25 over. Are we worried about Shedeur Sanders' maturation, given that he's supposed to be the starter potentially in Cleveland? That's next on Facilities. Shedeur Sanders was issued a speeding ticket earlier this week for driving 101 in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. But now we're hearing he was actually issued another speeding ticket earlier this month. We just found out about that one yesterday. So a little update on the situation. Well, Shedeur Sanders was at a charity event, and he kind of spoke about it. Take a listen.
I made some wrong choices personally, and I got owned up to them. I made some, not great choices.
He said that because he's an accountable person.
I learned
from the real people.
I learned.
Nah, he don't be doing
So now we're hearing it's 2 speeding tickets. James, you said something fascinating yesterday, and I love what you said. You're like, look, it's a speeding ticket, dude. Just take it and learn a lesson from it. But now it's suggested he got a speeding ticket. He didn't necessarily learn a lesson from it because he got another more egregious speeding ticket 2 weeks later. Again, it's a speeding ticket. Nobody was injured. Let's put it in context. But going 101 probably isn't the safest thing you can do in this life. James, you worried about Shedeur Sanders' maturity now hearing it's 2 speeding tickets in a month?
I mean, I don't want to put this on his maturity, but I will say the young brother got to slow down. Because not only is you going
Literally or figuratively?
both. Let's just say both. But, I mean, you don't want to mess around with this. Not only can you hurt yourself, but you can hurt somebody else. I was speeding one time when I was young, like Shady was talking about, in my G-Wagon, you know, fresh, you know, get back to California. When you come home, you're trying to, you know, show your people you got some bread and all that. Yeah. Caught a couple touchdowns. Flipped it. Yeah, flipped it. When I was in the air, I'm like, it's over. Boom, hit the ground. Don't remember nothing else. Next thing you know, I was getting pulled out of that thing. You know, so I just don't want a situation like that to happen or for you to hurt somebody else because you're speeding. You know, so for me, it's beyond you starting. It's beyond your career. It's beyond any of that. Protect yourself. Yes, these 2 times, and I'm not saying that people don't speed, but these 2 times you have not hurt yourself or anybody else. But I don't want this to become a habit for the young fella. So, man, learn from this one too. I know he has a good corner because I've been around Deion. Deion is a phenomenal person, phenomenal father. So I know he has a good corner with him, but, you know, this stuff can't keep showing up. That's what I will say, because at the end of the day, it's going to be that time to where it's not a good outcome. And it's not just a ticket the officer's giving you. So take care of yourself, protect yourself, young fella, man. Learn from this one as well and slow yourself down, man. Put some slow jams on. You know what I mean? Everybody can't listen to that rap and drive like Shady. Put some slow jams on, you know? But no, he'll be all right, man.
We're going to find a way to try to take something from Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, man.
I'm not worried about his maturity from a speeding ticket. You say you got some speeding tickets? You said 1. I know you had more than 1 ticket.
Yeah, true.
I for sure have some speeding tickets.
Right? You got a good dad too, right?
Yeah, great.
Right? So I keep hearing everybody like, oh man, like his maturity. Like, okay, some things you can learn to be better with, right? But what I'm not gonna do is sit on this TV station, right, and talk about, okay, I don't know if I want him as my starter.
No.
I should be super worried. It's a speeding ticket. I'm 30-something years old. I'm 30-something years old. I got 1 million speeding tickets. Okay, it moves on. Right? Now the correct thing to say is, follow the law, right? Don't be speeding too much. I hear all that, right? Because I don't want anything to happen to him. Safety's everything. We're not just talking about this football, but in life. But I'm not going to act like it's the end of the world. I mean, some of our favorite athletes have speeding tickets. I remember LeBron James got a speeding ticket. And it was a conversation for a day. Adrian Peterson, one of my favorite running backs, he got a ticket. LaShawn McCoy. When you got fast cars, they meant to be driven fast.
But not illegally.
Oh, my God, man. Like, listen. I know some people live in a black or white world, but there's a gray area, fellas.
Okay.
And that's a 23-year-old kid that's driving fast. It happens all the time. He wasn't drinking. He wasn't smoking. He was driving fast. And guess what? The consequence for that was he got a ticket. That shit had nothing to do with football. Coaches should be like, hey, man, hey, slow down. Hey, slow down. It's your second ticket now. That's it, Coach. We should have nothing else about that. That's it. Leave that alone.
Football is the last thing on my mind right now. I'm not worried about the young fella not starting or whatever because of speeding ticket. I ain't worried about that. My main thing is, like I said, I've been in that accident of speeding, and to have 2 in a month, I just don't want this to become a habit for the young fella. Forget football right now. He gonna go out there in training camp and he gonna do what he do in playing football. And you choose who you want to be as a starter. But for me, it's just like 2 in 1 month. I'm cool. And you're right, Shady. I got more than 1 speed.
I know you do.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you do.
At the same time, ain't none of them was right.
I tell you this, James.
Take care of your business, dog.
Listen, when I was with the Eagles, it's a guy out there named Dom.
Yes.
And Dom's job is to take care of the players.
Yeah.
And every time I'm riding that thing, and I'm in the bay, back and forth in the Bentley, from my Rolls Royce, I got the top down the door, and I'm driving real fast. Yeah. And they pull me over. And some people like LaShawn McCoy, and some people don't. And they would give me a ticket. I got so many tickets, I had to call Dom.
Yeah.
And you know what Dom did for me? Now,
Don't put
the
out all God's
statute of
business.
limitations is over with, so Dom, don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
But he made a call and
That's
got
it.
my license back.
That's it.
So we all been there.
Yeah. You want to know what's crazy?
James.
Talking about.
The same thing happened to James Jones, but
Oh,
your
I'm done.
was Dougie in Green Bay. Hey, get your license back, but it ain't right.
That's
Okay.
But not
it
only,
ain't right to curse either, sorry.
but here's the other
ain't
thing,
right.
though. In all seriousness, for me, is though, one, we've seen this before, even in Cleveland. Remember, Myles Garrett, I think it was his Porsche 911. He got he flipped over.
911.
Single car accident. He had to get pulled out of that. Myles has had at least 6 reported instances. He's gotten speeding tickets. But again, like James said, like this is Myles Garrett, and I'm sure y'all remember it's 2022. He gets pulled out of his car in a single car accident. So first and foremost, like, take care of yourself, but also take care of other people. I can't be so ignorant as to say every time I sped, I wasn't tripping. Like sometimes I was just tripping. But then the other thing, Shady's not a quarterback. James not a quarterback. There does come a point where it's like, Shedeur, the only reason you were drafted in the 5th round was not because of your play. I think you were first-round talent, 2nd-round talent is worse. People are looking for reasons to undermine Shedeur Sanders. They have been. Whether it's him flashing his watch, whether it's his family, whether it's showing up to different places with media crews, people are looking for a reason to undermine Shedeur. Don't give him one. There's another quarterback on that roster that was drafted in this year. We ain't talking about his speeding tickets. Cam Ward was drafted #1 overall. We're not talking about his speeding tickets. Jackson Dart was drafted to the Giants. We're not talking about his speeding tickets. Don't give people a reason, Shedeur Sanders, to undermine your talent, because the only reason you were drafted, pick, I think, 144, was because of off-the-field stuff.
Yeah.
And yet here we are talking about off-the-field stuff. Right now, the only thing we can praise Shedeur Sanders for is practice going against the 3s and the 4s. It's not like we can praise him for starts in the preseason, can't praise him for starts in a regular season game, but we can undermine him for real-life issues, because the speeding ticket wasn't in practice. He wasn't at a race car track just having fun. So for me, it's like, Shedeur, don't give them a reason, because I hear what Shady is saying. Number one, Shedeur, up until this point, you're not as talented as Shady, and up until this point, you're not as talented as James Jones. That's just number one. And number two, you're a quarterback, and quarterbacks are held to a higher degree of esteem. So I am worried like I'm worried about any 21, 22, 23-year-old kid. I'm worried about the maturation of anybody under 26, 27, with all due respect. It's just that, Shedeur, you're a quarterback, so people are going to look with a much more scrutinous eye, and your last name is Sanders. Your last name is Sanders.
So you worried about, you said 25 under, kid?
Yeah, 20, really 26,
I ain't worried
27.
about that. That's learning. I think I always tell friends and certain families, because they look at it, ball players, like, we're so different. I'm like, listen, whoever your niece or nephew is or your son is that's 21 or 22, don't have life figured out and still make immature decisions. It's the same way with ball players. It's that they rich, they got money, they got fame, they on TV. That's the only difference is. So he got to go through that stuff and learn how it is. Okay, I can't be speeding like that. And he's probably still going to speed at 30 years old because people do it. You know what I'm saying? I just, when it comes to Shedeur, and you say it's the quarterback, I just think with him is, they don't want to accept him. And it's like, I got to use all these excuses. Is it his dad? Is it his swagger? Is he cocky? Like I'm really dialed into the league with a lot of players and coaches. And the coaches, believe it, they love Shedeur over there, right? The players over there, they love Shedeur over there.
Nobody's saying
They love him so much that I've had reports that for people I respect dearly, I won't say their names, but it's like he makes other veterans uncomfortable because a lot of the older players, they gravitate to this 23-year-old rookie. You get what I'm saying? And it's like he can't turn that down. That's who he is. His dad is Dion. Personality is what he's going to have. His other brother, Shiloh, he ain't as big of a name. He got a lot of personality, and people love him over there in Tampa Bay. So I just think, we got to stop trying to, move the narrative with this kid. Yo, a lot of people have speeding tickets. Okay.
But let me ask you this, though, because I got to chime in. I got to chime in for several reasons. Number one, Shady is right. I don't think there is no fine print that tells you how to be famous.
No.
I tell that to people all the time, right? Like, hey, Shady, how do you handle this? Acho, how do you handle this? James, we don't get a pamphlet on hey, Emmanuel, now that, millions of people know who you are, here's how to deal with that. Nobody preps you for that. But what I will say in regards to Shedeur is this. Your 21-year-old nephew or 21-year-old cousin, Shady, doesn't hold the keys to $1 billion organization. And so because Shedeur holds the keys to $1 billion organization, or could hold the keys to $1 billion organization, there's more pressure with that. There's more consequence with that. There's more discussion with that. And more than anything, there's more expectation with that. My 21-year-old cousin and Shedeur Sanders got completely different expectations in life, got completely different responsibilities in life. So I can't hold Shedeur Sanders to the same degree that I'm holding the other 23-year-olds in America, because Shedeur holds the keys, or could hold the keys, to $1 billion franchise. This is no small thing, Jay. So I do think we have to be a lot more critical. And I also would suggest, Shedeur, you can't give us ammunition. Like, I'm not gonna be as soft as Shady is, and soft in the manner of like, bro, I'm not gonna. You can't give people ammunition to hate on you. Yeah. You have to be better.
And a lot of people aren't. And I'm a Shedeur fan, and I mean, the young fella's a great kid. To be honest with you, this is the first time he really, has given us something off the field to talk about. Because people can, assume stuff all they want. This is how his combine means with her. This is how that went. This is the type of person he is if you ain't never met him. You can assume all you want. But this is really the first time he's given us something to talk about off the field, really in a negative light. And my thing is we've all been in the National Football League. We know how it works, and we know how organizations think, right? So it's not like this dude is Cam Ward, because Cam Ward's the first number one overall pick. So if he's speeding 2 or 3 times, they're going to try to do something to help the young fella. It ain't going to be that big of a deal when you talk about on the football field. With Shedeur, this can be an excuse. Let's just say Shedeur gets a 3rd and 4th one. Let's just say that. You think in the mind of the organization, even if he's the best quarterback out there, you think in the mind of the organization would be like, this kid ain't learning and might let him go? That could be a possibility. It could, if you're giving other people ammunition. I believe he's the best quarterback on the roster. Stop giving him ammunition off the field. And I'm not saying that it's like nobody speeds and he did something that nobody did. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you can't keep letting it run over and run over and run over, because they will use it against you, whether we like it or not. We've seen it.
Let him go for speeding, yo?
Shady, we've seen it.
I've never seen that.
I
never seen a team let go of a player because he's speeding.
I've seen it plenty of times to where low-round draft picks get in trouble and the team don't even try to work with you.
Yeah, because you're gone.
You're gone.
Most of them lower picks don't be that good.
Let me ask y'all this, though, because
a 5th-round pick, they talking about competing for a starting job.
But what I'm saying,
I don't see that often either. Do you?
We don't.
Especially as a quarterback.
But number one, we don't know how good this dude is.
Listen, what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you ever seen coaches say, "Hey, look, man, we got a 5th-round draft pick. We all gonna try to work out these 1st-round reps"? I've never seen. Have you?
Never heard.
Okay, never heard it before. And we talking about giving him an excuse to let him go for speeding. What are we talking about?
But that's going to the extreme. I want to stay in the present for a moment. Let me stay in the present for a moment, and maybe you can hear what we're all talking about.
Oof.
Is there a correlation? What I mean by that is this. Shedeur fell in the draft not because of talent. Cam Ward hasn't gotten a speeding ticket or multiple yet, nor has he done anything off the field that we're talking about. We're not talking about anything Jackson Dart's done off the field. Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard, these are all quarterbacks that were drafted this year. Quinn Ewers. Not talking about the only person who has done something notable off the field is Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was a person who everybody outside of here said, oh, there's a lack of maturation issues, all this stuff off the field. Is there any correlation now where y'all are like, you know what? Maybe teams weren't right about the talent. Maybe teams were right about, maybe Shedeur did do stuff. Maybe he's giving them reason to say, maybe there was a lack of maturity. Maybe there was, because Cam Ward got money too.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not the number 1 overall pick, but like Cam Ward has money too. Jackson Dart at this point, he got money too. Shedeur's not the only person with money who can afford a fast car. Is there any correlation?
The difference is, why are we talking about them for? We talk about, I guess, Cam Ward because he's number 1 pick, but we never talk about him. He don't move the needle for us. I don't know if he has that swagger that we want to talk about. Let's talk about it. Jackson Dart, we never really talk about him. We want to talk about him when we talk about Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to talk about them guys. So they might be doing speed. They might be have speeding tickets. They might be getting in trouble. We don't know. You know why? Because we don't really care. But number 12 for the Browns, he moves the needle. So we going to talk about it. We want to find a way if it's good or bad. We want to talk about it. That's just the truth of it. So
fair.
I hear what y'all saying, but nobody wants to talk about them guys. I've never seen a number 1 pick overall not even really get talked about. They talk about the number 3 player in the draft, then they talk about number 1. They talk about the 5th-round pick before they talk about Jackson Dart. They don't move the needle for nobody to talk about.
But then knowing this,
so when that, you know what happens? That he moves the needle so much for all the platforms that we're sitting on TV for almost 12 minutes about a speeding ticket.
But not only
that's when you know you got the juice.
But not only that, though, like I said before, that other stuff is he say, she say. Mm-hmm. Like, before the speeding tickets, you couldn't really say nothing bad about Shedeur. We ain't talking.
Well, they made stuff up.
But I'm just saying, but nobody knew if it was true. Oh, it's a lot of people saying, man, he didn't act like that in the meetings. Some people say he did act like that in the meeting, but nobody knows. He say, she say. This is not. And this is back to back now. That's all I'm saying. Like, to me, I've never talked about Shedeur in a negative light because, number one, all that stuff is he say, she say, it's not my responsibility to talk. What he's shown me and what I've seen with my own two eyes is that he's a great kid. I don't want this stuff right here to start sticking with this boy, and if he get another one, then they using it against him because I've seen it happen with lower round draft picks, whatever the name is on the back. That's what I've seen.
Hey, man. If Steve gonna get you cut, dog, you don't deserve to be there.
3-4 of them might, Shady.
Yo, he need to drive. Hey, look, Shedeur, look, Uber, get a bus, because the way they acted, dog.
Hey, that's the best advice.
A speeding ticket? Y'all should knock it off.
Get you a driver if you're gonna be flying.
That part. Hey, when we return, getting a Game 7 in the NBA Finals is like Christmas for sports fans. And, well, Christmas came early for us. Hey, what's your confidence level in the Pacers now that they pushed it all the way to 7 and the Thunder got blown out in that must-win or would love to win game? That's next. The Facility. Hey, with their backs against the wall, they fought and they fought and they fought as the whole world watched Pacers push it from Game 6 to Game 7. Vegas thought that Pacers had no chance, not just in the game, but in the series. Yet here we are with the best two words in sports, Game 7. First time since 2016. The Stars speak up.
There's nothing like a Game 7. There's nothing like a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Dreamed of being in this situation my whole life, so to be here is really exciting for me and our group. And, like I said, what's happened in the past doesn't matter. What happened today doesn't matter. It's all about one game.
The way I see it is we suck tonight. We have to learn the lessons. And we have one game for everything we've worked for. And so do they. And the better team Sunday will win.
The better team Sunday will win. Well, we're joined by the best in the game. That is Rachel Nichols, live from Indiana. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us again. You were there last night, so I want to start with you. Confidence factor going into Game 7. Who do you have more confidence in?
Well, I watched the very end of that game with Ron Artest and Lance Stevenson. And Lance Stevenson is extremely confident that the Pacers are going to win Game 7. He was shouting and screaming all over the arena. They have got their core sort of, veteran guys. Everybody around that team is locked in and convinced that they are the team of destiny that is going to win this game. Their mental approach to Game 7, I think, is going to be looser and freer and stronger, frankly, than the Thunder, who, just by nature of the position they're in, are going to be feeling the pressure. But the question is, can a team with the MVP of the league turn that pressure around? Can they use their own exceptional crowd? The Thunder crowd is just so loud you can't hear yourself think sometimes. And are they going to use that to take that pressure and turn it around into one of the great Game 7 performances of all time? Because I think it's going to have to be. This is very different. We keep talking about the Denver series that this Thunder team played, and you might remember that it was like this going into a Game 7, and who's going to have the edge, and Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world, and the Thunder thumped them and won by 30. Guess what? That is not happening this time. The Pacers are going to fight for every single inch of this Game 7, and the Thunder are going to have to beat them for 48 minutes.
I literally cannot wait. Shady McCoy, Game 7. The Pacers surprised you up until this point, winning 3 games, even pushing it to 7. Who do you have more confidence in?
Real quick, I like to listen to what Rachel says first.
Very smart.
Before you guys. Rachel, you said the Thunder. I didn't hear you. The Thunder? What'd you say?
Oh, I just said that the Thunder have all of the tools to win. Mm-hmm. It's whether they succumb to the pressure and they can fight through and really do what they should do out on the court, because their role players should play better at home. And SGA is going to play like an MVP. We saw him do that in the last game.
I agree with Rachel. And I want to, real quick, before I even get my whole take, I wanted to give a lot of shout out to the Pacers. They played well together, right? Rick Carlisle been out coaching the whole series, right? And I want to give him a lot of credit for that. And the way that the Pacers team collectively, they all should get the Finals MVP, right? Siakam should be the first one with the trophy, and they all should be behind him. This is an easy one. It's OKC. If the Pacers win this game, this would be the worst thing for the NBA in years, in history. Where let me tell you why. Let me just hear me out, Rachel. Just hear me out. Hear me out. I don't make these public announcements often. Just hear me out. Why be the worst things? Because now you're preaching you don't gotta be a star to win a championship. You don't gotta have a max player to win a championship. You don't have to be the greatest to win a championship. You can have a bunch of role players. Rachel, you get your 15 points. Acho, can I bring bring it back up for because I'm gonna get everybody involved. Now we're a team. It's the Pacers. Rachel, you know what? You the boss. You get your 20 points, Rachel. Acho, you get your little 12 points, little 4 assists like Halliburton. James Jones, go over there, you get your little 15 points.
Okay, I'm about to give me 15.
And I'm gonna get my little 18.
Did you just call Tyrese Halliburton a role player? Did we go from is he enough of a superstar to now he's a role player? What are you saying?
He's been performing like a role player this series. Like 15 points one game.
No.
He's been averaging 15 points in like, 6 assists, something like that. It's real mid, real cool, it's real good. It's a good performance. All I'm saying is, you have the MVP, you have J-Dub, Shaq, you have all these players on this side of things, the best record in basketball, number one, all these things on this side. And on this side, you got a great college-type atmosphere team in the Pacers. And when they win a championship, every little kid that grows up that want to be a starter want to be like Mike. We got to change that now. Now, be a great role player. You be TJ. You be Halliburton.
Rachel respond.
Be like Hallie.
Be like Hallie. Go there and get you that 15 points.
Be like Hallie.
Get the 15
We
points,
have
brother.
been using this college team thing way too loosely. And by the way, people have been saying that about the Thunder all season too. Here is what's college-y about the Pacers and the Thunder. They both play in incredible buildings with fans that are of a college atmosphere of fans who are only dedicated to their team and shout and show up. Mm-hmm. That is it. That's it. Otherwise, these are two professional, highly skilled basketball teams. They are not teams that are like Cinderella stories in the NCAA tournament. I think that term has been so misused. It applies to the atmosphere. It does not apply to the team. The team, they have been shown over and over again. These are some of the best pros in the business.
You're right about that. Hey, listen. Hey, Toppin, hey, great. Listen. Hey. He just keep leading the team in scoring. So I don't know. Maybe I got the wrong definition of college-y. I just know this. In the NBA, the superstars, the main players, they normally have the most points. They normally be the reason why they win. But for the Pacers, it's a little different. Like, I don't know if TJ was the best point guard. I don't know. Maybe, but you know, so I'm gonna let you.
Shady's superstar bias is oozing out of his face. My confidence in Game 7, I'm going with the Pacers. In the last 20 years, teams that have battled back from down 3-2 to win Game 6 and push it to Game 7, those teams have all won. Whether it's the Cavs in 16, the Heat in 13, the Lakers in 10. I think the Pacers have the momentum, but more than anything, the Pacers have Rick Carlisle. And the real reason I'm extremely confident in the Pacers going into Game 7 is I remember Rick Carlisle in 2011. Rachel, you were there as was I. Dirk Nowitzki did not lead the Mavericks in scoring in Game 7 to win that game. LeBron James did not lead all players in scoring in Game 7, nor did Dwayne Wade, nor did Chris Bosh. Any guesses on who did, Rachel? I'm sure you know. Jason Terry.
I knew that one.
So with that being said,
the man with the trophy on his arm.
If Jason Terry, who never led all players in scoring the entirety of that series, could lead all players in scoring in Game 7, it could be Obi Toppin. It could be Mathurin. It could be Siakam. It could be Halliburton. It could be Naismith. It could be Nembhard. It could be McConnell. See, for the Pacers, it could be one of 8 players. For the Thunder, it can only be 2. And if it happens to not be one of those 2, they lose the game. Pacers, you can pull 8 cards out of your deck. Thunder, y'all got 2, and you better pray. You better pray that those 2 show up in a mighty way. Otherwise, they got 8 that could hit at any point in time.
Yeah, okay. Sound confident, huh,
I'm going to go with the OKC Thunder.
Oh.
But, Rachel, as you can hear me talk, I ain't got my chest out. I got my chest out because
Well, you shouldn't.
I do not know how this is going to go. I do not go. And I'm a little nervous. Number one, the Pacers is playing with house money. The Pacers is playing with zero pressure. This has been the most lopsided finals coming into this finals. Nobody. What was the odds?
Minus 700.
Nobody thought that this would be at a Game 7, let alone think the Pacers would win this series. And they are here now in Game 7 with an opportunity to win this series. They are playing with house's money. And then not only that, it's not easy for me to erase what I just seen. I just seen a basketball team get dominated. Lows in every area from the regular season to the postseason. 91 points, 21 turnovers, 17 points. They ain't lost by that in all year, including the postseason. This one here, man, I'm nervous. I'm going to say OKC just because of the star and the MVP, but I'm nervous for this one, man. I am very, very nervous, and I don't talk with my chest out this morning.
But that's the magic of Game 7, right?
Can you see this or you can't see it?
We don't know what is going to happen. That's what we love about sports, right? Unlike anything else. What do you got up there?
Shady, what do you want to know? We might have to take Shady's single.
Can we bet, Acho?
Yeah.
Can we? I'm sorry.
Yeah. We got a lot of show left, Shady. We'll decide our bet by the end of the show. Rachel, go ahead. You were saying.
I was just saying that this is why we love sports, right? We don't know what's going to happen. Even if you have a lopsided, battle going into it, you still turn on the TV because somebody can catch fire. And that's the magic of it. And that's why Game 7s are the two best words in sports, because going in, you've had a team win 3 and another team win 3, and you don't know who's going to win. So we can sit up here and talk about who we have confidence in, but the truth is none of us know. Shady, I promise, none of us know. And so that's why we're going to be glued to the TV. And that's what's fun about it. I cannot wait. This is going to be great. I talked to TJ McConnell for a little bit after the game one-on-one, and he said a few things I think you guys will relate to in particular. He said, playing hard is a skill. It's its own skill set. We don't talk about that as its own skill. Being hungry out on the court, being so hungry that you play to exhaustion is the way he said it. That is a skill. He said, those are some of the skills that I bring, where other guys say that they bring athleticism, they bring height, they bring shooting. He said, my skill is hard work, playing to exhaustion, and being hungry. Those are the skills, and I think I've been adapted by the whole team. And I do think that influences how they come into this Game 7. They're not happy to be here. They may be playing with house money, but they're not happy to be here. They have that hunger and they have that playing to exhaustion. OKC might be the favorite still, but they're going to have to earn every single minute of it if they're going to win this title.
Yep, and I agree with that. I love the way TJ plays. TJ, everybody on the team needs a guy like TJ. But I will say this, though, man. One thing I will change my mind on, and I said it before when Rachel was on set, is that I think the Pacers is better than what I gave them credit for. I think the Pacers is better than a lot of people gave them credit for. So they are a good team, right? So when I even talk about the college format, the way they play, that's not a diss to how good they are. They are a really good team. They played good at their style. But what I'm saying is, for OKC to lose, a lot of things have to go wrong. I watched the first game, right, where Halliburton, hit the game-winning shot, left him, 3 seconds? And 0.3 seconds. And it was more of like they led the game the whole time, right? And then down the stretch, they made some turnovers, made some bad reads, whatever, and they came back. Guys had some crazy threes, right? And then Halliburton made the game-winning shot. As I look at last night, how did they get beat by so many points? And as you watch it, Chet didn't even show up to the arena. That's one part. He had 4 points, okay? And I don't think he'll go that bad again. But then a world where SGA, who's known for getting buckets, getting buckets, okay? He really wasn't scoring a certain way. And then J-Dub wasn't really scoring a certain way. Now, a lot of that credit goes to Rick Carlisle of the game plan. We're not going to full press as much, but when they get into the paint, we go on a double team. So I get that. On the other side of the table, with the Pacers, everything went well for them. They played with great energy. They played with home. The role players played extremely well. And as collectively, from the starters to the bench players, they all played well. They all chipped in. So my thing, for you to win in OKC, you need SGA to not score. You need J-Dub, who's been balling, not to play well. Then you need Check not to show up against the arena. And then you need your 10 players to ball out to win. So saying all that, I'm just saying it's not impossible. But for the team that's not as talented, that's not as good, they gotta have all these things to go right for them to win.
I would say that was to blow out, not to win.
Okay.
All that happened for the Pacers to blow out the Thunder. To win, I don't think they need all that. What I found fascinating, Rachel, mostly is They just need 1 to 2 of their bench players to get active, because that's what usually happens. Last night, Mathurin did nothing. I mean, Benedict played for like 8 minutes that game. He had the shortest leash in the world. They need 1 to 2 of their bench players to get active. 1 to 2 of their bench players get active in like 4 of these 6 games. Toppin has had 17, 17, and 20. Mathurin has had 27. McConnell has had back-to-back phenomenal games. Last night, 12, 9, I think 4 and 4. A stat line that's shared with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. So what I suggest is they actually don't need that much to go right. But Rachel, I want you to weigh in on that. Like, for the Pacers to win Game 7, do they need to get lucky or do they need to just be good? Sometimes we say in sports it's better to be lucky than good. Do they need luck or do they just need to be good?
Well, Rick Carlisle has said in this playoffs, he said, for us to win, the way they have to win is for everybody to max out. You know, they don't have the guy who's going to swoop in and score 45 points. So for them to win, to your point, they have to do all of those different things. The Oklahoma City Thunder do have more ways to win, Shady. They can win if SGA has a strong game. Jalen Williams was a minus 40 in last night's game. That is very unlikely to happen in Game 7. So I do agree that for the Pacers to win, they will have to have everything go well, but that's not a rare circumstances. As Rick Carlisle says, that is how we win. That is how we do it. They know how to do that. It's not one of those rarities, sort of, you know, leprechaun in the woods kind of things.
I guess Acho won't bet me, James. I guess he won't bet me.
That's why I'm not talking with my chest out, because they ain't just win one game. They have won 3 of them. J-Dub has not played bad in 3 games. Shea has not played bad in 3 games. So they have shown you that if OKC plays well too, we still can find a way to win. And that's why I don't really sit up here with a lot of confidence saying like OKC is just going to win this thing just easy, because they've won in every way in this series. They've won 3 games. And they possibly should have already been the foe if they don't trick off Game 4. So, I mean, we can say all that, and I don't think they're going to play that bad again in J-Dub and SGA, but they have played well, and the Pacers have still found ways to win.
We will see. Hey, Rachel, thank you so much. I got to head to break, but you stay safe out there. Are you going to Game 7?
Absolutely.
Amazing. I wish I was as well. Hey, that's Rachel Nichols. When we return, Dak Prescott, could this be his last season in Dallas? Cam Newton, he seems to think so. We'll tell you if we agree or not. His last season in Dallas? Dak Prescott getting ready for his 10th season, but get this, Cam Newton said if Dak Prescott doesn't deliver this year, his time in Dallas is over. Cam added that Jerry Jones might already be eyeing University of Texas quarterback Arch Manning. Bringing us on camera, while I would like to agree with Cam Newton, I think this is just very, very far-fetched. It's not that Cam shouldn't be right. It's that Jerry Jones is going to make Cam Newton wrong. If you wanted to move off of Dak Prescott, you could have moved off of Dak Prescott before, but Jerry only really moves off of his quarterbacks if they get injured. He doesn't move off of his quarterbacks because of average to above average play, and at the end of the day, Dak Prescott is an above average quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He'll win 10 to 12 games more likely every single season. He'll win a playoff game maybe, or he'll go to the playoffs and lose. You're not moving off of Dak for that. Born and raised in Dallas, I've only seen so many starting quarterbacks. I mean, since I was probably 13 years old, I've seen Tony Romo, Dak Prescott with a touch of Vinny Testaverde and a little Quincy Carter early on. And mentioning Quincy Carter, y'all remember, that's the highest drafted quarterback the Cowboys have made in the last 25 years, and that was a second-round quarterback. I don't see a world where the Cowboys move off of Dak, where this is Dak's last chance. But, Shady, what do you say?
Man, Cam coming at him. Cam been wild lately. Is Dak better than Cam?
No.
Career-wise?
No. Cam got MVP.
I like Cam. That's my boy. You know, I'm going to disagree with Cam, and this is the reason why. Because the same thing that Cam is saying, I've been saying this for a while. After they lost in the playoffs to the Niners, right, at home, I said, I don't know if Dak's the guy. It's like they get to these big moments and he don't get it done. Yeah. Okay, the next year after that, they go back to the Niners, right? And he plays even worse. He throws some pick sixes like this game right here. Look at this. I mean, this is real, real bad. I said, you know what? They can't win with him. And then we go to the Packers the next year. I said the same thing, and he's still there. So Dak, I see what you're saying, or Dak, Cam, I see what you're saying, but for Dak Prescott, for some reason, he's the only guy that gets away with these things. Yeah. You know? And it's like, you would think that an ownership would look at that, where this defense is playing phenomenal. We got a top defense, got all this talent on defense, got all this talent on offense, got good coaches, right? And then we get to the big dance, no matter how good Dak plays the whole season, we get to the playoffs and he don't deliver. So I got to disagree with Dak, or Cam. I think that Dak will always somehow, some way, find a way to get out of blame.
Not always. But I think this year, I disagree with Cam Newton because if you're going to move on, you better move now. Mm-hmm. Because them teams you just showed right there losing the playoffs, it was all pro after all pro after all pro after all pro after all pro on that roster. And now you telling me Cam Newton is going with this roster, go farther than he's went with those rosters, that just don't make sense. So if you're going to move on, you better move on now. Talking to Andy off camera, first-time head coaches to do good and go to the Super Bowl, George Seifert. San Francisco 49ers, 1989. I don't even know what year you was born. You might ain't even be born.
Maybe. Born yet,
See? I sure wasn't even alive last time that happened. So if he is looking at Arch Manning, he better look at Arch Manning now because it's not like the Cowboys is going to the Super Bowl or they are going to change something dramatically this season. I think it'll be a solid year for the Cowboys. Dak will play well in the regular season. Like you said, might win a playoff game, but it's not like this team is going to the Super Bowl. So I disagree with Cam because I don't have them going to compete for a championship.
Yeah. I think how do y'all think the Cowboys eventually move off of Dak? You've been there when they moved off of Brett Favre, the great Brett Favre. Shady, you've been in Philadelphia when they moved off of Mike Vick.
McNabb, too.
And when they moved off of McNabb. I was in Philly when they moved off of Vick. I was in New York for a heartbeat a year before they moved off of Eli. What do y'all think it takes for the Cowboys to finally move off of Dak Prescott?
It's hard for me, right? Because I would have thought that when you have this type of roster, this type of team, and you go in the playoffs, because people like the regular season, that's cool. But for quarterbacks, you get graded on, what are you doing in the playoffs, right? I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan. I watch you guys, critique him more in the playoffs than the regular season.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I look at Dak, when I watched him go up there to the Niners, and he was the weakest link on the squad. I don't care how well he played in the regular season. The playoffs, he didn't deliver at all. Matter of fact, we can really say the reason why they lost is because of you. And then as a coach, as an owner, when I go into the self-scout is, okay, how can we get better? What do we need to improve on? How the hell can you not look at your quarterback? Okay, let's run it back again. Then the next year, right, he has an MVP caliber year, number 2 in voting. And then we get to the playoffs. At home, we had like a 16-7 winning streak at home, coming up against a first-year starting quarterback, Jordan Love, with a super young, inexperienced team with the Packers, and then we lose. Hold up. So now, let's self-scout again. And as I look at everything, what do we need to get better at? How can you not see that Dak was the issue? And you know what you do? The next year, you give him $60 million. So as much as I want to blame Dak, I can't even blame Dak. Because who's holding you accountable? If I'm a running back and I'm having a great years, but then I'm fumbling, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you can't count on me, or I'm always hurt, whatever it may be, how can you not look at me like, yo, we got to move on from this? Not, I'm going to give him more money. So I think Dak is really safe.
What did it take the Eagles to move on from McNabb?
He kind of had the same situation, right? He was doing really, really well. And I love Don, so I don't want to, talk bad about him, but I was being honest. He's doing the kind of same thing because he went to 4 NFC Championship games, right? They went to Super Bowl, and he had some
4 NFC Championship
games.
Okay, right. So even him, right? He's getting there, and he wanted to get it done. You had the best. You have Andy Reid as your coach at that, okay? And then I think some of the leadership qualities wasn't there for a player like that. Like everybody wasn't really bought into him. And then eventually they had to move on, and they seen this young dude, he wasn't young, but Michael Vick. He came in there and
was Mike a backup to McNabb?
Mike was the backup, right? He was doing RPO stuff, right? He was only doing Wildcat offense. He came from jail. When he came from jail, he wasn't really that good. It was funny. Like, this is Michael Vick, but then that rust knocked off, and you seen 7 from Atlanta. And it's like, yo, your replacement is in the building. Everybody gravitates to Michael Vick. He was a good leader. And Andy Reid said, if I could get my coaching, how good I am, into Michael Vick, we might be something. And then they moved on. And we didn't skip a beat.
So it's 2 things for me right here, because the Packers moved on from Brett Favre. We lost in the NFC Championship game, and Brett played at an elite level. But obviously, they knew what they would see in that practice, that they had an elite level dude behind them. But not only that, you took Aaron in the first round. So you're going to give him an opportunity to play. But for Dak Prescott, Shady said it a little bit, and we was all on the show, the weakest link. If he was on the show with us, he'd been voted off first. And if Dak Prescott shows that again in the playoffs, because right now Jerry Jones has equipped you with 2 number 1 wide receivers. And if you get on this offense and you show you are the weakest link in the playoffs and we lose a game, we have to think about moving on. We cannot keep doing the same thing and getting the same results and losing in the playoffs, and you're being the number 1 reason. We have to move on. And it might hurt, and we might lose some money and have to eat some of that money and all that type of stuff, but you have to move on because he's not getting it done. Donovan McNabb went to 4 NFC, I didn't even know that right now, 4 NFC championship games, and Andy and them still up there scratching their head like, we might need another dude? And Dak ain't even smelt them games? If he's the weakest link in the playoffs, you have to think about who is going to be his replacement. Whether it's a draft, whether it's a free agent, whoever it is, you got to start thinking about that. That's the easiest way for me to think. If he don't show up in the playoffs this year, you got to have some serious conversations about moving on from Dak.
And do you see why I'm so hard on Dak? Now, McNabb was a really good player. McNabb was nice. I don't think people give him enough credit because he has his wide receivers wasn't always Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin and Jason Devon. It wasn't always that. And you were still taking them boys where you was taking them to.
Yeah.
And that still wasn't enough. So I seen that. I witnessed that. And then we get to Dallas, and my man plays well in the regular season, and we give him a pass. Because Michael Parsons ain't always going to be super young, right? Trayvon Diggs ain't always going to be young and healthy. It's not always going to happen like that. And we just keep giving him a pass. And y'all think I'm being tough on him. No, I seen him give it to Donovan McNabb at his height.
I get it. Hey, when we return, it is time for Emoji Mayhem. How do we feel about the stars and the coaches heading into Sunday night? Okay, Colin, voice of approval from Shady McCoy. Emoji Mayhem when we return. Colvin, you can't make the emojis fall in the teeth? Reg, hit the button. Hit the button.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hey, the Pacers won last night, and we get the best 2 words in sports, Game 7. But how do we feel about the stars? It is time for Emoji Mayhem. If you've been watching this show, this is a highlight of it all. Tyrese Halliburton, he played through a calf strain last night, finished with 14 points. Shady, why are you looking at me like that, Shady? He did. He had a calf strain, Shady. He had a calf strain. Shady, how you feel about Halliburton heading into Game 7?
Let me take these off. Halliburton, take these off. I roll, dog. I don't know what to believe. You hurt, you not hurt, you playing, you not playing. You got the same type numbers. 12 points. Let me guess, 14, something like that. No more than 16.
Let me guess, that boy went to the 20s.
I'm tired. Man, listen.
To the 20s, though.
I don't want to. Oh, he ain't looking at no 20s.
Let me guess. Here,
listen, enough all this rapping. I'm eye rolling because I want to see what you gonna do. Now he hurt.
You should.
Now he hurt.
You should be thinking.
I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking. I don't know, Tasha. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, Halliburton is a gamer, Halliburton is a killer, and Halliburton is clutch. Halliburton tries to kill his opponents. He killed the Bucks when it was Giannis. He killed the Cavs when he missed a free throw, got the rebound, went out to 3 to hit a game winner. He tried to kill the Knicks with the choke symbol. He is a killer, but is he going to kill or be killed?
He ain't been killing in this series. And that is why I am nervous, because I do not know what Halliburton is going to show up. I am nervous. He has not been killing. In some moments in this series, he played well, but not consistently. But if he can give you even the 14 to 17 range points, this team is going to have a chance to win. Crazy thing is, he don't do that consistently.
Now, star eyes from the fans.
Star?
Star eyes from the fans. That's interesting.
Star?
It's probably Acho's homies.
Hey, let's move to SGA. 21 points last night, but he's still averaging 30 in the series. Shady, how you feel about SGA heading into Game 7?
Talking about a real star right here. He pissed off. Oh, y'all think y'all about to beat me? Game 7 in my crib? I'm the MVP? What? He mad as a... Man, listen. You're going to see the real SGA. All that smiling he be doing, all them little outfits he be wearing, he be pissed off.
I like it. I'm the opposite, though. Cold, because he cold-blooded. I think SGA is going to have one of them cold-blooded killer type of games in Game 7. I think he will have the most points of any player. Will that be enough to get it done? Only time will tell, but he's going to be a cold-blooded brother in Game 7.
The star on the basketball court on Sunday night will be SGA. The dude holding the trophy up, both trophies, the MVP and the finals champion will be SGA. He will be a star on Sunday.
Fans, nose breathing. I feel it. I feel that. I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one at all. All right, let's move. Pascal Siakam, he's averaging 20 and 8 in the finals, 2-5. Where you at?
The best player for the Pacers, I salute you. Siakam, keep doing your thing, dog. Listen, it ain't unnoticed for me. I notice what you're doing out there. I know you don't get the credit for it. I know they don't want to talk about you, but I'm going to talk about you. I salute you. Keep doing your thing. Look like 2019, Siakam.
Another one.
Put them all up, Cole. Put us all up, man. Put us all up.
The blue,
the red,
white.
the white.
The red.
The red.
He's switching up every time.
Hey, you Star Eyes, Jay.
I am Star Eyes.
I thought you was a salute.
Because because I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all my brothers. See? He is the star of the team. And if they find a way to win, he will be holding both trophies.
Hey, the fans salute. James, you're hilarious. Hey, let's move on to J-Dub. He had a 40-point game in Game 5, and then he was a minus 40 plus or minus in Game 6. Shady McCoy, how you feel?
J-Dub, superstar.
J-Dub.
SGA, superstar. SGA's mad and pissed off. So was J-Dub. Ain't nothing to talk about. Yeah, I'm pissed off.
He hot.
Huh? I have 16 points. Y'all think I did something? See you in Oklahoma.
I don't agree with Shady on this one at all. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. J-Dub went from scoring 40 points, most points in an NBA Finals game, I think since 2022 or something like that, to having a minus 40. Come on now. I don't know what J-Dub I'm going to see.
Why you on that said about your man Halliburton?
You feel me? You feel me?
Yo, he's so biased.
I was thinking.
Yeah. You should be thinking about J-Dub there, because J-Dub is about to bounce back.
Tell him, James.
It's all good. He cool. He chilling. My man had 26. He had 27. He had 40. Hey, we had a little setback. He'll bounce back. He cool.
Let's see what the fans say, man. Let's see what the fans say. Oh, they nervous too. I'm not the biased 1-2-5.
Yeah.
If they nervous,
hey,
I'm nervous.
Right, this is home.
This is home.
This is home.
You got the whole Nigeria.
Hey, y'all chime in. The facility FS1 every day. We need y'all to vote and weigh in on Emoji Mayhem. Hey, when we return, it's Mayhem in Jacksonville, not Jacksonville, in Baltimore. The Ravens, they upgraded their roster this offseason. So is this Lamar Jackson's best chance at a Super Bowl? That's next. Ravens made moves this offseason. You already know what it is. They added two-time All-Pro Jair Alexander. They also added DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Lamar Jackson's teammates Rashad Bateman singing high praises about Lamar, saying he looks skinnier, quicker, and faster. The league is in trouble. James, this is Lamar's best chance at a Super Bowl?
No.
Lamar's
had number 1 defenses. Lamar's had number 3 defenses, number 5 defenses. Lamar has had some really good football teams. Lamar just hasn't been at his best when his best is needed, and that's in the playoffs. And then not only that, last year, and it was unanimous up here, we talked about this is the best Lamar Jackson we have ever seen. So even with Lamar Jackson coming in a little lighter, Lamar is going to do what my man had 41 passing touchdowns, 4,172 yards, 915 rushing yards, and 4 more touchdowns. Lighter, heavier, how you getting better than that? I don't understand it. So he was at an all-pro MVP level last year. He had a really good team around him, and he fell short because of him not playing as well as he played in the regular season in the playoffs. That's it. Adding Jair Alexander, let's say he has a number 1 defense, Acho. He had that already. And if he has it again, the only way he's going to get through Josh and Patty and Joe, if he in the playoffs, is if he delivers and looks like the MVP Lamar Jackson. So I'm not going to sit up here and say this is his best chance. It's his best chance if he plays well in the playoffs.
I don't want to disagree with you, so I won't. I'm going to just add to it. I agree with everything you said, but I'll say it's his best chance because it's his next chance. The reason I agree with James is he's had number 1 defenses before. I want to make something abundantly clear, and it blew my mind. It might yours as well. All of Tom Brady's Super Bowl wins came with top 8 defenses. Aaron Rodgers' sole Super Bowl win came with a top 5 defense. What this means is if you have a top 8 defense, top 5 defense, get it done. Look at this list, y'all. 2024, 23, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Top 10 scoring defenses that win Super Bowls. Lamar, you don't just have top 10 scoring defenses. Lamar's had 4 top 5 scoring defenses, including a number 1 scoring defense. He's really had 5 top 5 scoring defenses if you count his rookie year when he started the back half of that season. The man has had phenomenal chances to win Super Bowls. Now, the Ravens defense does need to do a better job taking the ball away. They don't do a great job taking the ball away in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, if I hold you to scoring, I don't have to take the ball away. You didn't score. So the objective of a defense is not only to take the ball away, but it's also limit the opponent from scoring. That's what his defense does. I think this year they'll have another top 5 defense. Lamar, get it done.
I'm going to say yes, because it's his next opportunity, like you just said, right? I think the most recent time we'll see him do this is this year. And another thing is, even though we got his number 1 defenses, and that's great, because you need that, right? That means you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I always think about, like, playmakers. Like, I remember when I first met Asante Samuel, and, you know, we always talk about having a great defense, and he was talking about the Patriots way, right? And he was saying, they talk about the defense was so great. He said, but what made us great is because we had playmakers, as in sacks, strip fumbles, right? Creating turnovers, getting pick sixes, getting picks. And I think about now you have a guy like Derrick Henry as your running back that can create them type of big plays on offense, right? Take it to the house. Now I have to do everything for myself. Zay Flowers, get him involved. But then on the defensive side, right? When you get a guy like Jair Alexander, you get a playmaker, not just a great defensive player. Now we're going to get some of them picks. Marlon Humphreys, I think he's a really good corner, but I don't look at him as a playmaker. You get what I'm saying? Kyle Hamilton, I look at him as a playmaker. Jair Alexander, I look at him as a playmaker. So now when you add that element to the offense, to the team with Lamar Jackson, playmakers, now I might not score a touchdown on offense because Jair just took one to pick 6. Or now I'm getting more opportunities on offense because a guy like Jair is getting more picks. Things like that I'll be thinking about. So I feel like the next opportunity and also adding one more playmaker to the team, I think is the best opportunity.
Even with that being said, like Aaron Rodgers' only Super Bowl that he won, top 5 defense, but he was the baddest man on our team in the playoffs, though. Like, if you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you watched Aaron Rodgers in that playoff run with us, he was on a different level. That's all I'm saying about Lamar. We've seen Patty and Josh look like they're on a different level in the playoffs.
But your defense made plays. Real quick,
they did.
Why'd you say the only Super Bowl he's ever won?
True facts.
No, but you should have said only Super Bowl. He's only been in one Super Bowl.
But even
the only one he's ever won. Don't try to pin drop me. Yeah.
Even to your point, though, Jay, as cold as Aaron Rodgers has been, even in them playoffs runs, it can all be undermined by bad defense. You know what I mean? Like, Aaron Rodgers has been cold. And the fact that he didn't go more often, you could suggest was his defense. So what I'm saying is, Lamar, you already got the defense. So now I need you to be the baddest man. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
And I'm on your side because Lamar had all that multiple times. Correct. Aaron only had it once, and he still was the baddest man in the playoffs. If Lamar has these type defenses, and he's the Lamar of the regular season,
So I remember that them years. Y'all beat us.
Yeah.
But on defense, I didn't think y'all were really, really great like that. But one thing they did, they made big plays.
Scoring defense, we was good. They take the ball away.
They take the ball away. Charles Woodson was back there getting crazy. They had another.
Nick Collins, Tremont Williams.
Come on.
We had balls.
And then they had Casey. Is it Casey?
Casey Hayward was a young player.
No.
Matthews.
Matthew Stafford.
Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews was a beast. Yeah. The Super Bowl game, he caused a fumble, giving it from Mendenhall.
But they got that, though.
But hold up. What I'm saying is, when you talk about like a great defense, that's cool. But when you start taking that ball away, that's a whole other level.
But you got to score.
You got to score, too, though. You got to score.
Man, listen, man, y'all know everything, don't y'all? I know everything.
Here's what we don't know. Who is going to win Game 7? The most important question we have asked in the last 3 months of television is the question after this break. Who wins the most important game of the long basketball season? It's here, people. It's here. Hey, the Pacers got the blowout win last night, and they are pushing it to 7. The most important question I've asked in the last 3 months on this show, who will win Game 7? We've watched about 101 games of basketball. Hey, for me, it's very simple. I am going with the Pacers, and I'm going with the Pacers for this reason. The Pacers have 8 players that have the ability to get active in Game 7, whereas the Thunder, they only have 2. It could be Shea, it could be J-Dub, but if it's not those 2, they're out of luck. But for the Pacers, it could be Toppin. He's had 17, 20. It could be Mathurin. He's had 27. It could be McConnell. He's had phenomenal games the last 2 games. It could be Halliburton. He had 22, 12, and 9. It could be Siakam. He's just coming off of 16 and 13. It could be Naismith. You saw what he did against the Knicks, and all it took him was 6 minutes. For the Pacers, they could pull any of the cards out of their 8-card deck. But for the Thunder, they only got 2 shots. I'll leave y'all with this moment. When the Dallas Mavericks won their first championship, when their head coach was Rick Carlisle, it wasn't Dirk Nowitzki. The person who led both teams in scoring was a man by the name of Jason Terry, who came off the bench and had 27 points in that game, leading more than LeBron James, having more than Dwayne Wade, having more than Dirk, having more than Kidd, having more than Bosh. So could it be Toppin? Sure. Could it be Mathurin? Sure. Could it be McConnell? Sure. Could it be Halliburton? Who knows? But what I know is this. Carlisle is going to find the right card in his deck and play it, and I trust him to win the game.
Ooh. We got to put a little more respect on Jason Terry's name. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but he was like that.
He was like that.
I know he was kind of in that role position, but his whole career he's been like that. I just, JT. I respect you, JT.
I do as well, JT.
Are you sure? Because you compare him to. I'm going with the Thunder. I'm going with the better team. I'm going with the MVP. I'm going with J-Dub being in that Rodman role of delivering. He's been delivering all series. I think he'll deliver again. I don't see them playing that bad where SGA, that's known for scoring, known for getting buckets, didn't get any buckets really to his nature like he did going last night. I'm going with Jay Will. He's been getting busy all series, getting buckets. And then Check. Somewhere down the line, Check got to show up. He didn't show up last game. He didn't even come to the arena. I guarantee you he would be at home, right? In the arena, in the Thunder, he's going to be balling. I know that. I know the way they play defense. I know the energy that they play with. They didn't play with that at all last night. So I'm taking the Thunder because I know these things will happen. And the next thing is, and the last point, the biggest point, is that when you talking about a closeout game, right, you telling me that I need all my role players to play great, and he didn't mention not one thing about the star on the team. That's scary. Yeah. Hear what I'm saying to y'all. We talking about a closeout game, Game 7, for all the chips on the table. And the man next to me that I respect so much, Acho, didn't say a word about the stars. Yo, I rest my case. That was crazy.
I'm going with the Thunder. And I'm going with the Thunder because of SGA. SGA, listen to me, my man. Don't waste one of the greatest basketball seasons of all time. One of the best records, regular season MVP, Western Conference MVP, and you could possibly be Finals MVP, and with the cherry on top, be a champion. You are a game away from completing that. Don't waste it to what my dog says is a college team, depending on a bunch of special teams players. Go handle your business, be the star, do what you got to do, brother.
Thank you, Corbin. I was about to say, give me my theme music.
Give me my theme. That ain't the theme music. What is that?
That's that college.
Crazy work?
No, crazy work.
Hey, when we return, it's time for Blitz Meeting, beautiful people. It's been one heck of a Friday show.
Bama Blitz.
Let's get to a Blitz Meeting. Game 7, Sunday night, winner take all. Which star would you rather have, Tyrese Halliburton or SGA?
But first of all, wait, why you want to say Siakam? Siakam's a real star of the team. I'm going with the college guys. College team, I'm going with. Stop playing with me, man. SGA, a real MVP, man.
I'll go next year. I think it's something tricky coming.
You don't know with this guy, right?
I don't know with him, man. I'm going to say SGA. Just go ahead and put mine in there.
I think it's something tricky coming.
I think it's just something fishy.
Let me get mine.
Yeah, see?
College got. You know he like college. You know he like college.
Oh, my goodness.
Nah, it's
Okay,
SG.
okay,
It's SG.
okay,
I'm not
okay,
crazy.
okay.
I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I might need this later, though.
College team.
All right, let's move on to head coaches. Rick Carlisle, Mark Daigneault. This should be the sweepest of sweeps.
He
Which coach you rather have?
I'm going with Carlisle. It's not even close.
It's not even.
Every game you see a new adjustment. Right? He missed it. I know what, game 6, I think, or game 5,
Yeah.
where he didn't have no challenges.
Yep.
You see the first, challenge right away. Challenge.
Yep.
I guess he's been a great coach the whole time, man.
It's not even close. Carlisle, I think Carlisle is one of the greatest coaches in the NBA over the last 15 years. It's easily him.
Yeah, his team definitely should not be tying their shoes up for a Game 7. And the big reason they are tying their shoes up is because of him.
Which
Sweet beast.
Robin would y'all rather have as we move on? Is it J-Dub, minus 40, but 40 points the game before, minus 40 plus minus, or Pascal?
What's wrong with you?
Why are you looking?
Why you keep acting like Siakam's the best player? If it ended tonight, who would get the Finals MVP if y'all won?
Maybe T.J. McConnell.
But why Siakam a Robin?
He's a Robin, Jay. He's not. It's Halliburton's team.
Well, it don't matter, though. It don't matter what you say. I'm going with J-Dub. Jalen Williams is the Robin. For sure. Easy one.
This is where I disagree. I trust Siakam much more. Like, Siakam's been here before. He's the only player on the Pacers that has a finals, I think, at least as a real contributor. Shady, that minus 40 for J-Dub, that joint scares me. His first 2 games, they scare me. Siakam's consistent. Now, he's consistently good. He's not consistently elite. Yeah. But I trust...
16-13-1, that's not bad. It's not a bad game.
I trust Siakam now. I'd put it like this. I trust Siakam to have 20 and 8.
Yeah.
I trust him. J-Dub might have 15. He might have 40. Give me 20 and 8. I trust him.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy because I agree with you. You know, Siakam has been super consistent, and it's tough to go away from him. It's hard for me to disagree with you there, but I do.
Hey, very quick. Shady, Finals MVP. Who gets it?
Do I need to say it? I don't even want to say it. You already know, SGA.
No. Together. 1, 2, 3.
SGA. So try again. Start with the S. Start with the S.
No.
I missed first.
Nah, it's Friday. I'm not going to start my Friday off with this bull crap, man.
See ya.
What about tequila? He going to make me drink. He's tripping, man.